Hello and welcome to my Pecha Kucha Presentation for Persuasion and Negotiation Strategies. What we are going to talk about today is diets and some of the reasons that they don't work, and more importantly, what you can do about it. I'm going to share some of my success stories and also some of the experts. For most of us, when we hear the word diet, we have the same reaction as this little girl. It's not something that we want to do, but it's not really a bad four-letter word. In reality, diet is defined as the usual foods and drink a person or animal eats or drinks. So in reality, all we're trying to do is change our lifestyle. Some of the reasons that diets don't work for people, as defined by Science Daily, are that we underestimate our calories consumed, we overestimate the activities and calories that we burn, poor timing of meals, and inadequate sleep, which we're going to get into a little bit further in the presentation. Diets are hard for anyone that tries to go on one. Changing your lifestyle is not something that's easy. Humans and animals alike. You should see the look on my dog's face when I try and change what she eats and how much she can eat. Not very happy. According to a report by US News, 95% of diets fail. And what can we do? A few years back, I found myself in a situation where I was not where I wanted to be as far as my health. I knew that I had to make a change. So what I did was I started to get with some of the experts, including personal trainers, some friends, and I started looking at these reasons that diets fail and what I could do to change it. The first thing I had to do was change my habits. According to James Clear, author of the book Changing Your Habits, you need to change the 3 R's, which are reminder, routine, and reward. By doing this, I found that it was a lot easier to try and change my habits. But to change your habits on what you're eating and how much you exercise, you don't want to do it alone. Get yourself some help, whether it's a friend to encourage you, a personal trainer if you want to hire one, or whoever. Help is not a bad word, and in this situation, it is encouraged to get help to help. Now, when we look back at the reasons why diets fail, the first one we looked at is underestimating the calories that we consume. According to Science Daily, most people, even the experts, underestimate the amount of calories that they consume. And the biggest reason is portion sizes. If you go out to a bar or a restaurant and you eat, your portions are huge. And they can add up very quickly. So what you need to do is to track it. It's amazing how much easier it's to notice what you're eating when you track what you eat. Use a paper log. Get an app on your phone. What I did was download MyFitnessPal, and quickly I realized how quick those portion sizes would add up. It also helped me set a goal by eating the right foods. What I noticed was that I was eating way too many added sugars and my fat content was way too high. So quickly I was changing what I was eating to make sure that my carbohydrates and proteins were in the correct alignment and the fats went down and I was eating the right stuff. The next reason that diets fail that we're going to look at is overestimating activities and calories burned. Did you know that it takes an extra 500 calories per day to burn 1 pound of fat per week? That is a lot. And for most of us, that would be 60 minutes of vigorous activity a day. A better solution is to make sure that we are increasing the amount of activity we do throughout the day and maybe add 20-30 minutes of vigorous activity. The easiest way to do that? Get a pedometer. Get some apps. Increase your steps through a day. The experts say you want to do about 10,000 steps per day. So there's different ways you can do that. I myself got a Fitbit. I started using apps on my phone like Runkeeper. I even bought myself a heart rate monitor. Obviously you don't need to go to that extreme, but it helped. I was trying to make sure that every day I was walking enough at work or after work, and then my activities that I did, I would keep track of and try to improve on them and burn more calories. The next area that we're going to look at is poor timing of meals. For those of us who skip breakfast, it is one of the worst things you can do. Think about trying to take your car to work without gas in the tank. It's not going to work. And your body's the same way. If you don't have fuel in the tank, you're not going to go very far. Your body is constantly processing food. Below is an example of what we call the Krebs cycle. While we don't have time to go in it, what it comes down to is that our body is constantly processing food and turning it into energy. And if you don't practice a correct diet, your body is going to start to take what you eat and it's going to start storing it as fat. So the moral is, make sure that you don't starve yourself. The experts say you want to make sure you eat at least every 5 hours. Your body, if you don't eat the right amount of food, will start to eat your muscle away before it starts to eat the fat. So make sure that you have a snack every now and then to keep the fuel level up in your body. The next area we're going to look at is inadequate sleep. This is probably one of the areas that most adults struggle with. You need at least 6 hours of sleep a night, according to the experts. And if you don't, your body will start to produce hormones that will actually prevent you from losing weight and maybe gain weight. So how can you improve your sleep? For myself, I went out and bought a Fitbit, which actually tracked my sleep. And what I discovered was that I was not sleeping very well. So I went to a doctor to kind of look into it, and I found out it was because of my back. And a real simple solution, I put a pillow under my legs, and it helped my sleep tremendously. Like I said before, the biggest thing is you don't want to do it by yourself. Use others for encouragement, whether it's friends, a personal trainer, or whatever. Make sure that you have the right motivation system in place, whether it's someone to go on a run with or somebody that's there to kind of track what you're eating. Make sure you have encouragement. And finally, set your goals and share your success stories. It's not a bad thing to brag it up. Try and that gives yourself some motivation, and it also helps others encourage you as well. I found myself in a situation I didn't want to be in, and then months later, I found myself in a situation much better.